This is Madhurima and welcome to Wake Up to Bright Up. So today I'm going to share with you all 5 book recommendations for beginners. Now after showing you all the books, you may say that why this book is not in the list or that book. Let me tell you all that there are a lot of good books in the market, and if I include it in my list, the list will go on and on because the list of good books will never end. But in this video, as I am making a video for complete beginners getting into studying books or novels, you will like a book which is easy and in which the plot is also good at the same time. So yes, that is it. So now let's get into the video. Now before getting into the video, let me tell y'all that the books I am going to show y'all today, all of the books I don't have with me right now. Like some of the books I borrowed from my friend and read it, so I don't have, like some I have and some I don't have. So I thought to show the books in my laptop so that you get to see the books, like it doesn't get messy and boring like one I will be showing you in like real in my hand, and the next I will say that I don't have it, it will get boring. And yeah, so I thought to show it rather in the computers to y'all. And after showing y'all, I'm going to say y'all a bit about the book so that you know what's the context and how is it. So let's get into it. So let's begin the list. Now the first book I'm going to show y'all is The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. Now let me tell y'all that this story is really very easy to read and it will grab your attention from the very beginning. Now The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas is an unusual story, one of the most difficult and disturbing a teen will ever read. Now this is the story of an event seared into the fabric of history. It is a fable told through the voice of a child, mainly Bruno, but it is not for children, and this is not just another child. This is a novel about Holocaust. By focusing on Bruno's innocent and puzzled view of his father's job, Boyne, he is the writer of this book, John Boyne, offers a previously unseen perspective on the everyday Germans who took part in the Nazis' ultimate solution. So this book mainly focuses on the Nazi period, like how the Jews were treated during that time, and this boy Bruno could see these Jews from his window, and he could never understand why they wore striped pajamas, or when he made his friend, as you can see opposite the fence, and he comes to know that they shared the same birthdays, and he keeps on thinking why they are not allowed to meet in the first place. So yes, this is it. Now let's get into the second book. Now the next book on my list is Victoria by Nat Hampson. Now this is the story of Victoria and Johannes, two people who are born to fall in love with each other. They do, but there is no happy ending in this book. Even social class, expectations, a sense of duty and circumstances all get into the way. And yes, the end may be tragic, but you will experience a whole journey throughout the book. This book may sound to be this book is really very simple. The context is really not so out of the box, but still the descriptions are so nice that you will enjoy reading this book. And let me tell you all that this book is really very thin, and you will just finish it if you get the interest just in few days. So let's get into the next book on my list. So the next book I'm going to suggest to you all is 1,000 Splendid Suns. Now this book focuses on Afghanistan during the time of war. But more than that, it focuses on mothers and daughters and friendship between women. 1,000 Splendid Suns starts off programmatically and gains speed and emotional power as it slowly unfolds. Like this book focuses on the devastation which keeps on happening in Afghanistan during the time of war, but more than that, it focuses on the life of two women, Mariam and Laila, whose lives change or whose lives are affected, and how they come to be like the support system of each other. And it's more than the war, it's about the life, like how they face their lives during the Afghan war, what comes all in between, and how they get involved in the lives of each other. Like it's basically the story of, mainly the story rather, of these two. And yes, this story is going to move your heart to the greatest extent, I believe, and you will experience a lot while reading the whole book. So yes. So now let's go into the next book on my list. Yeah. So the next book on my list is Rebecca. So if you have seen my review on this book, you may already know what the book is about. Now this book is a little fat than the rest of the four rather, yeah, what I'm saying, rest of the four that I will show you. But let me tell you all, once you get the interest in this book, you will be forced to read it on and on. So now, in case you have not seen the review, let me tell you all, this novel begins in Monte Carlo, where our heroine is swept off her fate by the dashing widower Maxime de Winter and his sudden proposal of marriage. Orphaned and working as a lady's maid, she barely believes her luck. It is only when they arrive at his massive country estate that she realizes how large a shadow his late wife will cast over the lives, presenting her with a lingering evil that threatens to destroy their marriage beyond the grave. Like the whole story shows how this hero's last wife Rebecca actually influence our present heroine's whole life not whole life, like her life in Monte Carlo. And she is not even shown in real, like his past wife is not even shown in real, but how this present heroine imagines her, like brings the whole experience throughout the book as if we are experiencing what is happening. And like this book will make you shiver at some moments. And yes, if you want a kind of thriller and some mystery and all that, you may really try this book. Yes. So let's go into the next book on my list. So as you all can see that in the last I'm showing you all two books. Now actually I took it as one because these two books belongs to a series. Like the first part is Mist and the second is Frost. Now this is a fantasy series, and let me tell you all, it is really an adventurous read, and you will like go into the world of fantasy and enjoy every moment you read this book. Now it focuses on a mist haunted, like the first part Mist focuses on a mist haunted wood with a bad reputation. A sweet 16 party, a 13-year-old Nell is trying to keep her sister spoiled birthday girl Gwen out of trouble. No chance. Trouble finds Gwen and drags her to the mist. Only Nell knows who is behind the kidnap. The boy she hoped was a friend, the mysterious Yvonne Water. Now, the story on the youths in the mist and the whole thing of this Evans is said in this book. What happens is really interesting, and the next part is Frost, which I liked a little bit more. Like in the last book, Nell went into the mist and rescued her sister. This time she will have to go further than the elven forest. Like it mainly focuses on the Evans and the elven forest and all that, and this time she will go farther and further than the frozen west beyond and onto a lake of primal ice. So treacherous, she will be lucky to return at all. Like in the last moment, I was like, what will happen? What will happen? Like the feeling is just so good. Like you will enjoy the whole series and you will just love it. Like if you just get into the book, like 2 books you are going to finish really fast. Yes, so here ends my list. Hope you like this video, and if you like me to suggest you any other books, please leave in the comments below. I will be very glad to do them. Till next, have a nice day guys. Bye bye, take care, bye bye.